Welcome to Whitehorse RV Center in Williamstown, New Jersey, where today I'm going to do a walk-around demonstration of some of the major systems and features of this Jayco Eagle Super Lite. This is a 2011 256 model. I'm going to start you at the front where we do have a power tongue jack. To raise and lower the front tongue of the trailer, you want to use your switches here. Also at the front, you want to make sure your propane valves are in the open position, so you have flow of propane. And you want to note your regulator here. This will show you what side tank it's working off of. So this arrow will point to the tank that it's drawing from. And this will change to a different color from green to orange or yellow if it's pulling from the other tank. And then you could remove one tank and get it filled. Also, the cover goes on top of those tanks for travel and just for looks. Coming down this side, you have access to your storage compartment. You'll see there are crank handles in there, one for the stabilizer jacks, and also one to lower the spare tire, which is up underneath the camper, and I'll show that to you on the other side. On this off-door side, this is your freshwater fill for drinking water. That's when you're going to be pulling from your freshwater tank. Also a low point drain. Up underneath, you can see a pipcock valve. You would turn that and you can drain some of the water from this location. Dump valves for your black and gray tanks are up underneath the camper. The black side is the larger valve. That is your toilet waste. You're going to let that accumulate, keep that valve closed. Dump that when your tank gets to about 2/3 full, and then pull the gray valve, which is soapy water, let that rinse out the line, and your sewer hose attaches right to that connection there. Slide out is electric. I'll show you that on the inside. On the back of your main slide out, these are refrigerator vents. They have spin tabs on the top. You would use a key or a coin, twist these, drop that panel off. Nothing you really need to do there except check that it's clean. Sometimes spider webs can get in there or debris and kind of wreak havoc with your systems. At the back of the camper, this is your hot water heater. This drops down with a little latch here. And then you have access here. This is direct spark ignition, so you can do gas or electric, and you can control it from the inside. Just of note out here, there is a nylon plug, which is right here. So for winterizing, you would undo that plug to drain it down, and you want to make sure you always use a nylon plug to replace it. For specific information on winterizing, please refer to your Jayco owner's manuals. They'll give you some more detailed instructions and features on these major systems and winterizing. Also at the back of the furnace, which is your heater, this will vent warm air. That's very common. Just be careful of that area. And 30 amp power cord, which stores inside this little hatch here. This would be access to cable for your campground. Back of the RV, we do have a ladder. Nice for maintenance to get up and clean that roof, scrape and reseal it once a season. Outside shower has hot and cold water. Key lock here drops that panel down and you have access to water. City water connection is at the back. It's by the door side taillight, and this is where you'd hook your hose to access water at the campground. So that's going to be pressurized for you already coming into the camper. Along the main side of the trailer, you'll see awning lights, which are controlled by a switch inside, as well as outside speakers, outside electrical outlets. And then there is a ledge if you wanted to add an outside barbecue grill. This particular model does not have a grill that comes with it, but it is equipped for it if you'd like to add one. Spare tire manual crank is right under the front door. You can see right up underneath here. You would insert the crank handle there, and you're gonna see up under the trailer, your spare tire would drop down. And crank handles, again, are in the front storage compartment for both stabilizer jacks and access to spare tire. Coming up inside the RV, show you some of the major systems and features of this 256. Again, this is a walkthrough demonstration of some of the major systems and features. For more specific information, please refer to your Jayco owner's manuals, which come with this camper. This is a 2011 Jayco Eagle Super Lite. In the kitchen area, we have the stove, which is direct spark ignition. So you would select your burner, turn it to light, and then use your spark to get your flame just off. With your oven, you're going to use an aim-a-flame or a matchstick and go to the back of the lighting mechanism, and you're going to control that here with the pilot. Push and hold there. Once your oven has cooled off, this is a bifold range cover. This is going to lift up and then come across to protect for travel. light switch and also fan switch. And microwave, which is working off of electric, either plugged in, will not work off of a battery. Air conditioning also is electric only, works plugged in. You cannot run that off a battery. Your main GFI outlet is at the kitchen. So it's along the side of the cabinet here. If you had any kind of electrical question or issue, if you lost power, you want to check that this is reset. So you want to reset it here and test it here. The main camper will be controlled by this reset outlet. And then your breaker box fuse panel is actually under the oven. This is a vent. If you do hear a motor blowing here, that's fine. That's working to cool off the converter. And there's your fuse panel and breaker box as well. Coming on this side, we have fire extinguisher. Vents on the floor are for heat. Vents overhead are for air conditioning. I'm just showing you TV and radio in good working order. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off so it's easier to hear. Let's get this turned off. And then television as well, which is over the dinette area. So air conditioning vents are overhead. You can control the directional flow of this by closing off the vents if you want more or less airflow. Vent fans overhead have a twist knob. You would open that, make sure you close them up for travel so you're secure. And then your air conditioning has an air dump feature. If you wanted to cool down the living area more quickly, you can close or open these panels here to direct your airflow. There is a filter under here, which is nice to take down once a season, vacuum it or clean it off. Slide out is electric. I'll show you that operation. We're going to go to the systems monitor panel and switch controls right at your entry door. These two are overhead lights. So these are called pancake lights. There's a switch on the light themselves that you need to have turned on in order for the switch on the wall to control the light. Above that is your awning control switch, which is just an in and out switch. So I'm going to push the out for the awning, take you outside, and you can see the awning start to very easily go out. We're just going to bring that back in. Make sure you do bring your awning in if there's going to be rain or wind because it protects it. It's a nice big awning out there, and that recesses and storage for travel. Slide button, again, a toggle switch in or out. So we're going to push the button. That's going to draw from the battery. And that slide is going to come in. Once it gets all the way in or out, you will hear a clicking noise. That's normal. It tells you it has reached its full cycle. So we're going to put it back out using that switch. And you're going to listen for the clicks. Again, that's normal. It tells you the slide is all the way out. Okay. And all the way out or in is where you're going to be watertight. So make sure you're operating that slide all the way in or out. Below that is your systems monitor panel. It's going to show you your battery level, your tanks, fresh, black, which is toilet waste, and gray tanks, which is soapy water. Water pump switch, if you're drawing from your fresh water tank and not hooked up at the campground, you're going to want to hit your water pump switch. That will pressurize the water and bring it into your faucets and shower when you need it. Your water heater switch, because this is a gas electric water heater, as we saw outside, here are your main switches. It will light on the propane side, or you can run it on the electric side. For more specific details on this, please again refer to the owner's packet that comes with this camper. This is a 2011 Jayco Eagle 256. Your refrigerator, fridge, and freezer. The temperature controls are on the middle of the fridge. You can select automatic, which will allow you to switch between gas or electric. That's recommended because if you unplug the camper, it will automatically light the propane and begin to power the cooling unit. You can turn it off for storage. You can also manually select to run it off of just propane. Temperature control is here. 1 is cold, 5 is the coldest. Somewhere around 3 or 4 is probably the right fit unless it's summertime and it's very hot or humid out. Another thing to show you in the kitchen area, there is a wood block which is movable. This is a quiet top cover for the stove if you prefer this to your bifold cover. And you also have electrical outlets with USB charging, and this would just pop down into your cabinet or pull back out. Coming back through the main living area, we come into the bathroom, and also your thermostat for heat and air conditioning is here. To use your air conditioner, you're going to go to cool. You're going to select your temperature, and you are going to hear a fan cycle on and off. There's a delay, sometimes up to 30 seconds. That is normal. So again, when you turn the system to off, it may still continue to run, or likewise on, there is a slight delay. You can use just the fan setting if you want to pull room temperature air through, or you can go to the heat side, which would be a propane powered heater, and that will also control your fan. Okay, so you're going to hear that. That sounds a little bit different. Heat is going to come out of the floor vents and rise. Your air conditioning is going to drop down from the ceiling vents and cool best. In your bath area, this is a tub shower combination. You have a high volume attic fan here, which you will want to raise with the crank handle knob and then control your wall switch to operate that. Foot pedal toilet. You can control part of flush and water, or if you just do a little bit, you can just get some more water into that bowl. Regular sink operation like you would expect. Again, if you're on your freshwater tank, make sure you're turning that water pump on as opposed to city water, which is pressurized from the campground. Propane and carbon monoxide detector. This is tied into your battery. So if you were storing the camper, it's a good idea to disconnect the battery for a time, because this can still pull down your battery. And your battery would actually start to chirp. This propane leak detector, rather, would start to chirp from pulling down the battery. Second entry door at the front bedroom here. Nice layout with closets and nightstands. Your reading lights have the switches right on them, so you can turn that on or off here. Another vent there, which you would raise with the knob, and there's an air vent. Accordion curtain comes across for privacy. You want to unsnap this, pull this across to latch it. Likewise for travel, bring it back and snap it. And if you did want to install a television in your bedroom area, there is a wall mount bracket as well as cable hookup for the campground and electrical. Emergency exit window is also in the front master bedroom. You can lift up on this handle and just push it open for a little bit of airflow, or of course that whole window does pop out. So in an emergency, you could get out this side, which is opposite of the main entry door. And that's just going to click back into place. Again, this is an overview of some of the major systems of this 2011 Jayco Eagle 256 RKS. We thank you for watching. Wish you much happy RVing ahead. For specific details and information on systems and operations, please do refer to the manuals or feel free to give us a call. Have a great day and happy RVing.